Feeling good. Feeling good on this beat, yeah. Feeling good on this beat, yeah. Feeling good as you listen to this dude. Feeling good on this beat as he speak it, yeah. Just the doing what he do, oh yeah. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Soul Sparked Radio. Oh, excuse me, Soul Spark Tarot. It's like Soul Spark Radio, but with tarot card and oracle. Oracle and tarot card readings. Today is our 25th day of 25 days of Christmas, which means Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you. Merry Christmas to all. I hope this day has been great for you. I really hope that you are okay with whatever you feel today. And I hope that you know that if you are alone, you're really not. I'm here. And because I'm alone, that means that you're not alone by yourself. So I hope that you can get some sage in your life, and you can just be okay. Whatever you feeling like it. So this song is called Feelings, Origami Beats, but yeah, I just had to let that drop real quick. Outside of that, welcome back. This is our last day of our 25-day journey, and I think it's been pretty excellent, man. I think it's been a blessing just because, like, starting from the beginning of desiring to, like, call our energy back, we were already wanting to do certain things in November, but December we decided that this is going to be the time where I'm going to feel how I want to feel. This is the time where I'm going to decide that these things are for me. And the things that you've been deciding haven't been here. So you've been calling it back more, and more. And you've been realizing that you didn't even know how to handle the energy when it came back. So because he didn't know how to handle it, he disregarded it. Because she didn't know what to do with it, she didn't value it. Whatever part of you that had to receive or had to give, you brought that energy back and you realized that you wasn't prepared. Dang, I thought I was ready, but here my energy is and I don't know what to do with it. So we've been learning how to handle that. Our solution was we must identify what we have, and then we have to recast it into a new role. That means we don't have the type of characters that these actors used to play back in the day, our old selves. Now, in the present time, we still have them on staff, so we need to give them a role for something that we can find value in. As you're finding value or newfound value in these old energies, you're starting to see why things that are antique are what they are. They hold value across a lot of time. So there's certain things that we've been deciding to do with ourselves that has lasted for us for a long time. The things that we're learning that last a long time is the ability to recast into a new format. We can always use our magic to create a new value system upon the energies that we have identified. Yes, I realize that identification says I can either tell this actor to change roles, or I can create a show that can help this actor with his natural talents. A more natural role. What do I do? What parts of me that came back likes to do what they do? Damn, I always like to argue. Where can I use that? Where can I debate? Where can I be put in a position to where I can use my voice to give an opinion? Where can I listen to others? I've already listened to others. Where can I go where I can fight others who won't listen? That is a bad energy, as one would say, if I wanted to, let's call it, be, somebody in finance or in politics. But because debates happen in certain areas, like through sports and whatnot, we can figure out a way to recast that energy into a new role. So instead of telling this fiery actor to calm down and play a soft, gentle role, no, you go give him a new role in a new movie where this guy can be fiery. This time he's not fighting, now he's a pastor. So, I know it is taking a lot of time to help us understand the differences of how to recast, but these are characters of our own energy that we want to see ourselves enact. So, in this next 7-day period, from the 25th to the last week of December, pretty much, before New Year's Eve, what we want to be doing is we want to be getting more intimate with ourselves in regards to the energy that we have. We want to give ourselves praise. This is the infant stage of the new creations that you want to make. So the idea is practice giving, practice receiving, practice changing, practice variety, practice change, practice all the things that will force you to have more details, and then you will grow based upon the details seen. This is the key. Now, since you have the details, you got to realize that the detailing of something within your life comes with things that may seem up or down. You might have something that's positive and you might have something that's negative. This recap is helping us understand that the energies are coming in all ways, but how it was perceived previously is what allows me to have a blockage now or a means of overcoming an obstacle later. Both matter, and you got to realize at what point in time do you see these things occurring. So then you can place it into a cycle of time, and you can look at the spaces in between each junction. In my mind, does it seem feasible, like I can do it tomorrow, right now, I can do it in 2 hours? Or is it something that seems impossible, and it seems like there's no time in any dimension that I can use to get me there? There's zero belief whatsoever. You have to use the ability of your mind to dictate things, but because things happen twice, and because we want to only focus on one, and because that one is normally focused inwardly upon yourself, even if it is a help on the external, it may be a negative internal to you. The idea is we got these positive and negatives, and we need them both. So how do we choose what we need? Well, I like to understand the idea of choosing to neutralize spaces. So as we enter a space for this last week of December, I'm going to be giving a lot of different readings, and we're going to be able to see all the differences between the details of what we can utilize, whether they're in love, whether they're in self-relationships, whether they're in career, whether they're looking at questioning our own psychologies, our health, our everything. How do I do stuff? That is the idea. We're trying to wipe ourselves clean with a new slate of how do I do stuff, because we want to figure out why we do stuff, and we want to hold on to the why because we want to start adding on. Adding on to understandings is the key for this next year. This is us being in a wise year. 2025 equals a 9. That means it's the 9's time to shine. And 9 is reflection. But 9 is a reflection upon something that has allowed it to become a projection too. Something moving forward in life. And these are the things that we call reflection as you make a new move. I'm going to revisit. I'm going to reteach. I'm going to review. I'm going to reassess. I'm going to remember. I'm going to repeat. I'm going to do the things that I've done before with a new beat. So let's get on to this reading. No Limit, Origami Beats. This is off of 10 hours of anime type beats. To rap on Origami Beats, and I got a couple of Soul Spark radio episodes with this on here. I mean, goddamn it, it's 10 hours. So I've actually listened to this a couple of times, like a lot of times over the last year, in a lot of places. Like, it actually is taking me back a lot right now. You know, I'm really revisiting. And it's cool because, like, today I revisited a lot of energies, and I just don't have much hate in my heart for stuff, but I realize I don't want to look at the things that I hate in my heart because I've already learned to kind of deal with it. But then I like having that discord and that distance. I like having something to, like, help me combat, you know, make me feel like I gotta push myself. And that's the devils within us, though. That's the idea that we have for ourselves. We understand that we can claim things, but things that bring us to fame are the understandings of how do we maintain a new balance within ourselves. How do I alter that me? This is us going a lot deeper than normal, but this is the championship. You did it. We're here. 25 days. That means a ton of self-help is coming out. It's here. Please pick up your book, Tell of Self-Help. Please pick up your book, Soul's Re-Spark Adventure. Those two tools will help you get to where you need to be. And so, so much so that I've been blessed with, like, ideas on how to use these things and how to apply it. I've been given the opportunity to see how to utilize this energy. And I'm hoping that I can give that to you too. How can you give yourself an opportunity is the how that I'm trying to bring to you. How can you give to yourself when you don't know what yourself needs? How do you do the things for yourself when you don't even feel like you got the time? How do you provide to yourself when you don't even know what time is flying by? Which way do I flow? I'm confused. I got options, but that's okay. This is the overall energy that we have, which is the Five of Potions. The Five of Potions is a card that normally has people feeling like this state, guilty, feeling remorse, feeling like the things that, you know, they wanted, it just didn't happen the right way. This is giving me, I was supposed to go on a date on Valentine's and then it got canceled. And now I'm distraught. So I feel like a lot of people are kind of feeling this way. I'm thinking of somebody right now in particular, and I know she's sad, and I know her heart's heavy, but this is the last time, which means, like, this loneliness is the last time, and I think it's okay. You gotta cherish these moments now. Imagine you never having, like, a really bad day again. Like, you would wish that you, like, value those bad days because, like, is your heart really attached? Is your heart really deepened? Did you really dig deep and get to the bottom of it? Are you going to feel this kind of way again just because, you know, you had a snub in your day? Hell no, I don't think so. But you got to know so. You know, I always love to give y'all personal understandings because, again, it makes it a little bit more practical. I don't mind being authentic. I don't mind being vulnerable. I will speak. But I realize that that's not the problem for me. The problem for me is that I don't know how to feel strong in the sadness. Like, it's always another part of me, like I teach you guys, that's coming in to lift me up. So it's like the sadness has always been drugged to a better place, so it doesn't feel like the sadness has actually rooted itself as a valuable system within my body. I didn't know how to, like, give to myself with the sadness. And then the beautiful thing happened, man. I turned around and I saw that I was still myself. I turned around and saw that I can be restored. I turned around and saw that even if I'm old in one spot, I can make myself brand new in a new place. That means I got two different places the spot in my mind and the spot that I'm going to as I move my feet to a mental plane. A place where I can see myself do new things. A place where I can believe in myself being true to himself. A place of old, but it feels like it's wealth. All of the confusions, it gets brought together. All the variety gets seen as a team. Feel unified as a single being. This is the emotions that is helping us build the confidence to know. It's not the fact that we don't want to feel this way anymore. It's the fact that we can get the fuck up. That is the key. That is you being connected to the miracles of life. And notice, I said miracles because a miracle in and of itself is plural, which is the miracle. The fact that you can go through the things where you can be attacked by your thoughts, or you can be the one attacking the thoughts, giving yourself power in a previous place. As you take on this power and you realize that you can always walk away, it's known to you that you can be the emperor to your own plane. You can always take a new step. You can always put a little magic in your step. You can always start brand new, and you can help Santa Claus and Jack rule their own tunes. They can go back to being happily living as the kings of their own worlds. That means that even if you have been used up and ridiculed, humbled, humiliated, lied on, slandered, made to be a fool, you can be restored. Doesn't matter. You can be restored. Doesn't matter. Yes, this is the energy and effort I put into the aspect, but this is the aspects that were always stored away. This is the aspect that keeps me going. These are the two cups that's always inside of me, my spark. This is the positive node and the negative. It is the part of me that makes my battery go. I'm never sharing that. Why? Because I don't even fill up these cups. These are exclusive. These cups right here are meant for God. So when my ancestors fill me up, when I'm feeling like this, and I knew and I realized that I can just turn around and that makes me new, then it can be known as knowledge. I can know the ledge and I can show myself where the edge is and when I can turn around. It helps me see when I'm being a victim of an emotion, when I'm being a victim of a thought, when I'm being a victim of a routine, when I'm being a victim of the lack of energy or the abundance of energy. When I feel like the victim, that means this change card is external coming in towards me. It's like a major. What do I do with this outside influence? But if you was to alter your mind to the two of cups inside of you always, you will realize it's you being a good cop and a bad cop, but you hunting down the criminals regardless. Now it's you on the hunt. You're Batman. Doing bad so you can spread a little good. Being Robin Hood to your own hood inside of you. Happy Merry Christmas. Woo! I seen that. I just seen that cup. It be aces of cups. Doing what I can. Always got a bottle in the cup. In the cupboard, back stock, yep. Making sure we see it's a 3 of cups with this me and God up with this ace tip. Always feeling myself replacing shit. I'm feeling kind of good because I got backstock coming through, so I'm never drained. What? Making sure you know that it's me, always stepping into the flow of the energies, the miracle lanes, that is the miracle of life. Connecting yourself to miracles of life, that be living life, doing what you can and what you hope to do. Living life, doing what you can and what you hope to do. Living life, doing what you see, being all of thee, connecting to the miracles of see. What you can't see and what you can't. That is the life of this emotional rank. That means you gotta fill it up and see your glory. Making sure you see that it's not the scary stuff that you be thinking up on the outside. The love that you have is just bright on the inside. So you gotta take a little step. Turn around so you can get all you get. Hey, turn around, man. Woo! What did I say? Didn't I say turn around? This is the wheel of fortune. A wheel spin round and round. So that means it's always repeating. It is always going back. That means it's always retracting. That means things in life are always going to happen. Here's a good point of view. The things that people say is simply not true. A lot of people say everybody goes through different things. And wrong, incorrect. Everyone goes to the same exact things. We just do it at different times. And so because people can realize that we're going through the same developmental obstacles, they just don't realize that we're doing it at different times. But if you were ever a supervisor in a role, you can see that there are always different parts and things functioning at specific times. And then those parts can alter and change, but the things will be functioning all the same. This is like looking at kids at a playground, and for the whole week, you're looking at the slides, and you realize that the whole week there's been some kids who do the slide every single day. Then there's some kids who do it like 3 times out the week. There's some kids who never ride the slide. There's some kids who will ride it once and then leave. There's some kids who will ride it for half the lunch period and then they'll go do something else for the other half. They're always repeating cycles, going over and over and over and over and over. How can you find value in the repetitions? Well, to find value in the repetitions is to look at the frequency of the changes. This is us placing nodal points in space, believing in ourselves that these goals are attainable. But the attainability of the goals directly correlates to the relevancy. This is like looking at the pressure and the volume in your noble gas equation. Pressure and volume are directly relative. So if I blow air into a balloon and make pressure on the inside, that means I can look like I'm exploding on the outside. So realize that the external energies are putting pressures on you, and if you don't have the ability to expand, you won't be able to contain as you decompress. And that's the whole point of a lung. As you breathe in like the balloon, you expand, but it's outside in. You gotta realize that you're always going to have something to bring you down. Once you realize that you're always going to be beat down, you got to figure out, how can I take what was put in me and decompress it and exhale it out of me? How can I get it to turn around? Again, if I blow out, I move back. That's the whole idea of a balloon. The air goes this way, but the balloon goes that way, like a rocket ship. How can I get myself to move, not just spin in a circle, but spin in a circle moving forward on a linear place of time? Like a roller coaster that's spinning and spinning and spinning and doing all of these barrel rolls. How can I turn around? How can I create a new action when there's no energy to enact? Well, the idea is to reenact now. Recast. You're already here. Let me try something new with you. So now you got a new spark of energy. You feel re-motivated. You feel re-energized. Why? Because instead of just doing lunges all the fucking time, now we get a chance to do some squats. Thank God it's something new. This is what that caused. That is the creation. This isn't a bad card. Again, this shows you the values that you really have. So externally, what that really means is You've been looking at the things that you care about and not. And it makes you sad that you don't care about certain things anymore like you used to. And it makes you sad that you care about things that you shouldn't. You just see it coming to an end. Like loneliness. That sucks when you like enjoying, when you get to a point where you enjoy your solitude and your loneliness, and then all of a sudden a bunch of people about to come in. It's like, man, I was just getting comfortable with the shit that made me uncomfortable. Now I'm uncomfortable again. So, did you learn your lesson? Do you know how to make yourself not spend all of this time revamping your battery and recharging? Do you know how to keep yourself afloat? Can you keep your energy recycled and revamped so you can keep on going? This is alchemy, but it's not alchemizing, because in alchemy, it represents the first. So it's the initial change. So this is like a generational curse breaker. No, this is not the alchemy that we're looking at right now. We're not looking at alchemy. We're looking at recasting. It is a change in perspective. So it's a review. I gotta understand why I only got 6 out of 10 on the test. I gotta review those parts that I know is correct. I gotta review those parts that I don't know is correct, which means they gotta be shown to you, i.e. the external factor called the teacher and the test. 2 different ways to justify those things. The teacher will talk to you. The test is the obstacle where you're able to talk to yourself. So when we're seeing things like the devil, are you realizing what's being stimulated? Because can you recognize how you stimulate that same factor in others? If you can do that, then you can be the one to flirt between both the energies. You can create a new friction, and that will allow you to turn around. Again, you're not looking at the dichotomy between 2 and 2. You're looking at the dichotomy between one thing that is made of 2 and then one thing that's made of 1. So it's a 1-to-1 relationship, but it's split into 2 glasses, different amounts, different ratios. So because this one thing is coming into 2 different areas of a single factor, that means you are creating multiple varieties. That means instead of just having a good singing voice, you have a good singing voice that's high-pitched and a good singing voice that's low-pitched. There's 2 different things, so that means when you harmonize with something else, that means you can create different melodies in between because you got different parts of you at different levels. You're adjusted differently. And so if I'm, let's say, playing a keyboard, I can play dun 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 on the right hand, but I can play dun 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 on the left hand. It's the same thing, right? It's something repeating, right? Here's the kicker. Because it's repeating at 2 different spaces, let's call it 0 to 12. This is at, my left hand is at 4 inches on the ruler, and then my right hand is at 8 inches on the ruler. Because it's at 2 different spots, 2 different places, it has to have a difference. Because there is a difference between the 2, which is what we call space or separation or a change. If you had one linear pathway, you're still realizing that 4 is not 8. It's a change. We can say it changes by a factor of 2. So that means if I have a low pitch with a certain rate, that means at a factor of 2, I can have a higher pitch with that same rate. It can just change. I can go from adding single numbers over here to adding double digits over there. That's all it is. It's allowing us to see that it's repeating, but it becomes a little bit more complex because there's more time and space, unless you make a change. This is the change that you got to make. The change comes in as you move. So, again, if I'm on the keyboard, I can move from 0 to 3. My left hand can even go up here to 12. But because I can move, that means things repeat. And because things are moving, you got to look at what can repeat. And one of the major things that can repeat are these 3 things of external life. In the case of the music, the tempo can change. Like right now, the musical tempo in the back just completely changed. And I bet you if I move forward in time, you will see that the tempo will change again. Consistent. But let's listen to another factor. If we hear the music in the background, we can hear not just the tempo change, we can hear the theme behind the music. This theme, or what we call cadence, is the spaces in between. The spaces in between. Which, again, there's a standard space, but because I can be different, I can identify as a different actor, a different musician, I can change it. Change it. Change it. But it's still spaces, 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 spaces. So, as we're looking at, okay, we can change the tempo, we can change the cadence, then are we hearing the actual same musical notes? That's the third aspect. So let's see if this experiment works or not. I just moved down into the same exact video. And all of those things are true. Completely different on all of those things, but it still remains the same. This is you moving from looking at the things externally to make you sad to seeing how with God, with faith, with some internal, then guess what? You can see these two cups as the outside of you while still projecting the inside of you. So that means you accept the fact that sometimes you're going to sing with a low voice, sometimes you're going to sing with a high voice. You accept the fact that sometimes you do good things, sometimes you do fucked up shit. You accept the fact that you're trying to do good shit and sometimes bad shit still happen anyway. The idea is that it's only bad when I can accept for what it is, because if it's not what I want, is it something that I need now? Because it's a value system internal to me, I can just move from key to key. I can just continue to repeat the same energy of I love myself, but I can just change what part of me is loving, which means that's like a teacher walking around in the classroom. I love the way you guys are talking and helping with each other. I do not like the way you guys are just talking and yapping about nothing. They're still talking on both sides. But guess what? One talk was productive, the other one wasn't. So as I move from one kind of talk to the other talk in a classroom, guess what? Would you expect there to be additional varieties of talk if I was to continue to walk in that class? Hell yeah. Do you think that if I changed and moved forward onto this same video, that the musical tempo, the musical cadence, and all the beats will drastically change again? Hell yeah. Let's see. Oh my God. Oh my goodness. You can always make a change as you go ahead and just move through your quickness. Even if you're moving super slow, that might be you moving at light speed, but you just far as fuck away. Keep moving forward. The idea is the way you do that is by turning around and looking inside. In math class, this is called us reducing down in numbers. In biology class, this is called the nucleolus of a cell. The nucleus is this inside. The nucleus is the two of cups, but the nucleolus is that ace of cup inside. That is the housing unit for the control center. It's the brain to the brain. That's what this is. You can take yourself into a new plane if you use your brain, but you gotta use the deeper parts of it, which means you gotta use some heart in it. That's the only deeper brain you have. It's your feelings, but you got to understand your walk. You got to understand your routine. You got to understand how to turn around. You got to understand that you can look inside of you. It can make anything shake and anything go down. But you can also build things up, and you can stabilize things too. You can do multitudes of things, even if you're just stuck and can't feel like you can make any move. You can do it. Why? Because you've done it before. But how? Because you recognize that the things that you do is you living with faith. You believe that you can turn around. And if that belief is embedded and aligned with you, if you feel like you're connected to the miracles of life, that means if you feel like The fact that miracles exist, you can find one at any point in time and space. And in life, guess what? That means you can repeat certain cycles and you can feel like the sun for any moment, any reason that you feel is cool. Here goes the lights. I just want to make you smile, man. And I just want to make you see that you can be happy even when you're sad. I want you to be able to cry and smile knowing that it's good to say goodbye. It's okay to say goodbye to certain things that you want. It's okay to walk away. It's okay to find a new thought. It's okay to think a bad thought. It's okay to understand the fire within you. It's okay to understand your thoughts process. It's okay to understand the vibes that you give on a routine basis, the controlling aspects. You can see these things within yourself, but you can believe that you're an explorer. You can believe that you can explore with your mind. You can conceive it. And so, as children, you might hear things like, "If you think it, you can. If you think it, you can believe it. If you believe it, you can do it." My adults, my age, middle-aged folks, you might have heard, "Think and believe you achieve." My older folks, 50-year-olds, my early old hoods. You probably heard things like, "Put your mind to it." My old people. If you listen in here too, my geriatrics. I know it sounds crazy, but hey, my golden years is really what we're talking about. These are my 80-year-olds and up. You probably say, "It don't matter. I've seen it." It will happen. This is the idea of you taking your mind on a trip. Believing that you don't need to take your emotions on a trip, but if your emotions want to take you on a trip, enjoy the ride. Sometimes we don't appreciate the fact that we can go on rides in different ways. I can be stimulated in multiple ways. You got to see that as a miracle. Damn, why did this video make me sad? I didn't cry when I saw my motherfucking dad in its casket. But why, when I see this little bunny rabbit in the casket, it makes me sad? It doesn't matter that the stimuli for you didn't bring tears to you just like it brought to me. What is the miracle is that we both can be empathetic, whether it's your dad in your casket and mine not, or whether it's this bunny rabbit in this casket and it but being on your plate. The difference is that we can both feel. So, on this day of 25, we got to remember, what is this day? This is the birth of the Christ energy, the Christos. Christos is referring to a status and a level of change, which means 5. So the number 5 in 2025 next year is where we're met with this higher level of change that you're going to be presented with. The higher aspects of change are the things that you're going to need to order to enact these newfound principles deep within your heart, called the nucleolus. That is your intellectual, emotional brain. The spark between the 4 chambers and the togetherness of the 2 halves. But that's up to you because there's 2 halves of 2. So that means you can see it on the horizontal plane or you can see it on the vertical plane, lefts and rights, ups and downs. But then the idea is, can you see what helps you spin round and round? Can you see how you can create energies that will help you make a flip? Can you see that when you're too excited and too arrogant, can you make a flip and bring yourself down just a little bit? Can you birth those tools within yourself, aka the Christus, aka the higher reasons for change? Jesus came and was an example, right? It was an example. So can you provide yourself with examples of change? But firstly, can you remind yourself that you can change by creating a depth and a resurrection? Can you really force a change with such a drastic attempt? Can you make something just be the complete opposite? Best person ever is alive, and now the best person ever is dead, and then oh my God, he said he coming back and he does. Can you believe that? Like, how convinced do you have to be if you were a person who was in opposition? That's what you got to see within yourself. You got to see that, like, the only things in life that matters is what I see inside of me. But then if those things that was dead became alive and you just have to turn around, you'll be like, oh shit. This is Soul Inspiration, Yo Spark. This is Chapter Change. This is what this is all about. I think I'm gonna do a little thing on that. Chapter Change. Every thought is gangster until the tomato starts walking. Stay active, stay aware. Change is inevitable. That's the idea of what we got going on. Because change is inevitable, you got to know how to nurture the parts of you that want to change and the parts of you who don't. Your children, your multiple children that you have, but 2 out of the kids can't wait to move across the country and change schools, and then one of the kids is all sad and feels like because they're the middle kid, they're always disregarded and they don't want to go, and all of their friends, blah, 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 blah. You got to know how to nurture both sides of you in that equation, because majority is ruling, but at the end of the day, does that minority have a huge impact on how the flow of the entire unit is going to go? This is why you got to realize you got to turn around and get some of that God juice. Got to get some of that God juice. Exactly. You got to learn how to stand with multiple passions in your life. That child who doesn't want to move, they got to learn how to accept letting go, and so they can start learning how to value things that have gone. Ooh, it's a complete change in regards of not having. Oh, you got to be okay with the fact that you can't run a mile in the short amount of time that you did when you was in middle school, but guess what? You can still run, my nigga. So even if it's a little bit, take you 15 minutes to run a mile, guess what? You can run. But when does that matter? Well, you're 35 and you feel that kind of way, cool. But if you're 80, you'll be like, hell yeah, look at me. I'm still out here doing this shit. 15 minutes don't matter, boy. I'm out here at 85. Still got that flame burning. Even if it's a little bit, but that minority is everlasting, baby. That shit is on a slow burn. So we got to learn how to value all the parts of the family, all the parts of the you. Appreciate at some time, maybe not now, like right now in this video, it's towards the end, maybe towards the beginning. Maybe it got lower notes at the beginning of my keyboard towards, octaves 4. But if I get towards octave 8, they're more high-pitched. Again, we can see that with progression in time, things change. So, again, how can you not believe in time when it's the only thing that exists? Time is the reason why I don't have my granddaddy here. Time is the reason why I don't have my grandma Lou. But time is the reason why I have my grandma Lou longer than I have my granddaddy. I love all the fact that the times exist, because that allows me to see the multitudes of myself and all the different ways I was loved. So when I bring my energy in and I am presented with an energy inside of me that I'm not really familiar with, and we got to recast this person to one of our current shows, what am I going to do when I don't really have a relationship with this actor? Well, I got to look at the past. Oh, I got to listen to the present and see what it's trying to identify. Yes, you've been a villain in most of the movies, but you're looking at just being a side support hero now. That's a cool change. Let's see if you can put on the traits that will allow you to enact that desire. Guess what? Or do you have the willingness to step and cultivate a passion that's new? Well, you never wanted to be an actor, but now you got to lift weights and you hate lifting weights. Are you going to go through the weightlifting thing so you can change your persona and go from a villain to a superhero? Are you going to switch it up? Are you going to go through the obstacle? Are you going to jump from one passion to another? Are you going to see how majority you want to do something, but you can look at the minority or the slow burn and you can find value in that too? Which ways are you going to nurture you? You're going to nurture you with time. That just wanted to jump up though so you can see it. Pausing, letting yourself listen. That is the key. Letting yourself hear this shit. You got to learn how to listen with a different ear. Exactly. The different ear is the 5. So again, next year is a 5-year at the end. So it's always going to be met with some kind of decision or some kind of change. I'm going to stop using aluminum-based deodorants and I'm going to switch to natural. There's going to be some junction, but the junction comes from finding stability through separation. That is 2, 0, 2. Finding that 202 energy means that no matter what happens, I'm going to change my change. I got 2 pairs of white shoes. I got 2 pairs of black shoes. Guess what? Even if I mix them up, I don't care if I put 1 shoe over here, 1 pair of shoes over there. I still have in total a 2 and a 2. I'm still balanced no matter how I mix it up. That's because we're giving ourselves spaces. I'm not mixing up the shoes in the boxes. I'm mixing up the box of shoes in the closet. Now I have more space between these 2 white pairs of shoes and these 2 black pairs of shoes, and then these mixtures of all kinds. I know that I'm always going to be met with a change now. I can change which shoes I use it when. I can change which shoes are paired together. I can change which shoes which go together. I can change which shoes are cleaned. I can change which shoes I wear every single day. I can change the shoes I wear once in a blue. I can change the shoes in any kind of way I can change upon review. That's the total 9. That's 2. 2 plus 2 is 4. 4 plus 5 is 9. So you got stable change. But stable change comes through review. So when you're looking at reviewing who you are, you got to look at the things that you can do for yourself when you're changing. That means look at the 8. What things give you energy? What things give you, wealth? What things give you passion? What things make you burn? It doesn't matter which version of you was burning. That's the key. That's what we're trying to understand. So a part of me might be knocked down, but can I tap into another part of me that zooms in and burns deep, burns bright? Well, sometimes that might just look like sleeping all day. Guess what? That supercharged energy of you burning down some of your sleep candle is going to give all of these others time to dim out. And because this candle was burning bright, look, they're standing tall. They're standing tall. I got a lot of energy. I can do this for a long ass time. I can sleep all day. I can take naps all week. Try me. Guess what? By you knowing you can work on the things that will allow you to change your point of view, that will help you when you create changes upon review. What's the final message? Exactly. So the way you make your change is to regroup those changes into smaller categories of potential change agents. So you know how to prepare yourself with a tool belt of things that you're going to use to make the change. This is the 6 of candles. This is the 5 of needles. This is the 9 of candles. So instead of saying, I can just do anything, you already have a preset aspect of a couple of things you're going to do. So whenever I feel tired, I'm asleep. Whenever I don't feel, this is your medicine cabinet. You believe in the medicines now that you've been given to in life. You believe in these characters that these actors are going to portray. You believe in the actors who are going to portray the characters. You believe in the show to really display our thoughts what these characters are trying to convey. You believe in the fact that this chandelier will hold all of these different lights, so now I can see deeper, I can see further down the hallway of darkness. I can see more of my own depression and find value that I've been thrust into this new maze, and I gotta find some new cheese. This is based upon a book called Who Moved My Cheese? And guess what? When I was a kid, I used to love this fucking Lego skit called Where'd the Cheese Go? That shit just had me so weak, and I showed everybody, and I was obsessed with that shit. That shit was just so passionate and it was with Lego characters. So obviously that helped me grow my love for like movies like the Lego movie. And so those things that I can see within myself, my multitude of interests, I can place that on a single pedestal called myself, and most people won't know how to handle 6 different versions of you that you're comfortable with. You got 6 passions, but it's all bundled up into one. Yeah, I like to talk and help people, but I can use my mind, so I like to help people think when I'm talking. I like to help people feel when I'm talking. I like to help people do routines when I'm talking. I like to help people feel better when I'm talking. So I'm adding on to what I'm doing. My subject matters, but I'm describing my subject matter further, aka I'm adding details to it. AKA I'm building a relationship with it. AKA I'm seeing more of myself because I got more of myself. Now I need to recast to a proper role, which means I need to increase my volume, which means directly correlated, there's going to be an increase in pressure. But because this pressure has been increasing, I know now that I can take parts of that pressure and I can categorize it into rates. I can categorize it into groups. And then especially I can put some time on there. But because I know I have a limitation, I'm going to put a cap on me. I can only carry 6 at a time. So now I got all of these factors. I can go out here and be noble in any space because I'm moving light like a gas now. And the only thing that changes behind me and these interactions that are happening inversely to one another is the time. It takes time to birth things, and I think it's that time for you to birth anew. So this is why my name is Mr. Renew. Any moment, you can always see yourself as a new thing, something brand new. And this is why I chose that name, that alias. It's the Coach Henson. It's my whole name still. It's nothing new. I'm not trying to be new. I'm just viewing myself with an opportunity to be a different candle of my own light. What's our oracle message, baby? Yeah. About to get some oracle love. Let the angels rain down and give us a miracle. What's a miracle for you? What's a miracle for me? It's just us making a move. It's just me saying that I'm doing what I do. And then you see the same light upon your own actions too. That was nice. A little powerful. Hopefully that inspired you. I want to make your heart feel good. And then I know that you're going to show me like your heart is thumping good for me. So I want to see me react to you showing me that thump I give to you. How do you induce yourself? How do you make sure that you see your wealth? How do you make sure you make a move for the move that you want to make times 2, huh? That means that you're feeling good in your mind. You're feeling kind of passionate upon your heart. Doing what you can from the start as you make a new move, DNA from the start. Seeing your commas, seeing your actions, doing what you can so you can be the captain, but you realize you are support too. Vice on this beat as you make a new move. Seeing what the faith inside. You are my captain, so I'ma let it ride, but I'ma hold you in check because I got the vibe to help you understand. It's just us on the inside. So let's see. What does the miracles of the world want us to have? What does the miracle want us to be? What energy? Ooh, man, I'm feeling super energized. What is revealed to us? What is our gift from the ancestors? Damn. Yeah. I want to fucking cry, bro. That's just my thought coming out because I don't feel like it. So mentally speaking, I want to cry. This shit is an amazing reading, man. I'm glad we're birthing this new energy, man. We're birthing blessings. You're connecting yourselves to the miracles of life. I've repeated that shit like 200 times today. Connecting myself to the miracles of life. Connecting myself to the miracles of life. Connecting myself to the miracles of life. The miracle of life is change. Change upon review. so you can see the stable you within the change too. Blessings on how cloudy days brings rainbows. I'm sorry, the only way you can see a rainbow is if there's cloudy days. Not much sunlight, but you can be grateful that there's sunlight, and you can be grateful that you can see a new light. You can be grateful that you can see a cloudy day. You can be grateful for the cooler weather. You can be grateful for the beautiful sunlight when it kisses you across your face across a cloud. You can be grateful of all the blessings that are naturally given to you. You can be grateful for you. You can be grateful for the things that you see. You can be grateful for the things that you don't. But you're the creator of all things, so I hope that you love yourself. And I hope that you bless yourself. And I hope that you can appreciate that you are included within this world of love. And I hope that you can invoke that into you. Be the beauty in your life by practicing beauty moves. Be you, as I be me too. Peace.